the champion of international Grand Master of memory. Our memory betrays us. We see someone at a party or meeting, someone we've met at least 2 or 3 times before and even talked to for a few minutes. But the thing is, our memory betrays us, and we simply cannot remember his or her name. Wouldn't it be nice to finally put an end to forgetfulness? In this video we'll learn the techniques from the expert Kevin Horsley, one of the very few people to receive the title of International Grand Master of Memory. 1. If you want to improve your concentration, you've got to clear your mind and be in the now. Everyone wants to have an excellent memory, right? However, for many, concentrating on details and remembering them can seem impossible. Fortunately, there are ways to improve both concentration and memory. Here are some top tips to enhance your focus. Rid yourself of conflict. Anything that divides your attention and leads your mind in different directions hinders your ability to concentrate. Do you switch between checking emails and sending messages on your phone? If so, you're like most people. Stop multitasking. To eliminate internal conflict without drastic measures like joining a monastery, start by ceasing to multitask. Neuroscience experts say that multitasking slows you down by 50% and increases the likelihood of making mistakes by 50%. For instance, chatting on the phone while driving delays your braking response by 0.5 seconds. At 112 km per hour, this means your car needs an additional 15.5 meters to stop, an extra distance where much can go wrong. Give yourself a purpose. Prevent your mind from wandering by having a clear purpose. This makes it easier to remind yourself why you need to concentrate. The PIC rule can help here. Sad face, P. Purpose gives you a reason for learning. For example, if you're learning a programming language, your purpose could be building a website for your family. Cultivate interest and curiosity. Once you've found a purpose, engage yourself by asking questions to become I. Interested and C. Curious about your subject. Questions like, is this relevant to my life? Or, can I use this at work? Are good starting points. Now that you know how to improve your concentration, it's time to discover how to retain information effectively. 2. Use your creativity to bring information to life in a fun way that will help you remember it. Have you ever read a page of a book and immediately forgotten what you just read? Well, that doesn't have to happen anymore. A simple way to remember information is to bring it to life using your creativity to create a memorable movie or picture. Play with words. Words can be broken down into smaller parts or associated with similar sounding words, making them more memorable through humor or absurdity. This technique is especially useful for memorizing foreign words or capital cities. For example, if you're learning pollo, the Spanish word for chicken, picture yourself playing polo while riding a massive chicken. You'll never forget it. Or, to remember the capital of Australia, Canberra, visualize a kangaroo eating berries. It takes practice to think this way, but it makes remembering things much easier. Use the C method. To make the pictures you imagine more exciting and memorable, use the C method. Senses. Information enters our brains through our senses. When trying to remember the word horse, imagine its skin, smell, touch, and even taste. This creates a multi-sensory image that's far easier to recall than just 5 letters. Exaggeration. You're more likely to remember a giant, bright pink horse wearing a tuxedo than an ordinary one. Forget logic. Focus on creating funny, fantastical images. Energize. A horse galloping at full speed into the sunset is far more memorable than one standing still in a stable. Adding action makes the information more vivid and easier to retain. The key to remembering information is to use your imagination to bring it to life. 3. Sort information into categories that already exist in your long-term memory. Now that you've learned how to create memorable mental images, it's essential to understand how to organize them effectively in your mind. The best method for this is the loci method, also known as the root method, which involves associating new information with something familiar. Humans excel at recalling specific routes or places, such as their daily commute, so most memory systems utilize loci. This method involves placing the items to be remembered at specific locations along a route that is vivid and familiar in our minds. Here's how to implement the loci method. Suppose you need to memorize parts of a speech. You would envision walking around your house along a particular route, creating a string of locations to visit. At each room you mentally enter, select 3 specific locations in that room and arrange them in a specific order. As you progress through your house, associate each part of the speech with the chosen locations. For example, starting in the kitchen, you might associate the first loci, your favorite pink breakfast bowl, with the word horse, from the C method mentioned earlier. To enhance memorability, imagine spinning the pink bowl on its head to represent the word horse. Moving to the next loci, perhaps in the living room, associate it with another part of your speech, such as summer camp, symbolized by the family pictures on your refrigerator. This method is effective because it can be applied to any structured location you know well, whether it's your car, your body, or a museum. By intentionally structuring your route to accommodate your list, you'll remember both the list and its exact order. And if you're still skeptical, consider this: the author used the loci method to memorize the first 10,000 digits of the number pi. 4. Use sounds to remember numbers and dates. It's always impressive when someone can effortlessly recall complex mathematical facts or historical dates. If you aspire to do the same, here's a straightforward method to remember numbers using just 3 steps. The concept involves converting numbers into memorable images. First, familiarize yourself with a system that translates numbers into letters or alters their sound. For instance, associate the number 0 with the letters S, Z, and century to recall this. Imagine a hissing wheel, as 0 resembles a wheel. Assign each number from 0 to 9 a group of consonants with similar sounds. For example, the number 6 can be represented by the sounds J, SH per chain, or a soft G. You can also consider the shape of the numbers when assigning sounds, making them easier to remember. For instance, the numbers 2 and 3, when flipped on their sides, resemble the letters N and M, respectively. Additionally, if you horizontally or vertically flip the number 9, it looks like AP or AB. For now, ignore vowels, they'll come into play later. The next step is to write down the letters representing the date or number and form a word. Let's say you want to remember the year 1969, when humans first walked on the moon. As most memorable dates occurred in the last millennium, you only need to recall the 969 part. Hence, the sounds B, SH, and P should come to mind. Together, they form the word bishop. Finally, create a mental image using the C principle, combining the word you've created with the chosen date or number. For instance, envision a bishop dancing on the moon with Neil Armstrong for the above example. Now that you understand how this system works, you can easily create memorable images to recall specific numbers or dates. 5. Use the 4C system to remember names. Forgetting a colleague's name can be quite embarrassing, but with the 4 C's, concentrate, create, connect, and continuous use, you can avoid this awkward situation altogether. Firstly, concentrate on the person's name by saying it out loud and repeating it. If it's a challenging name, don't hesitate to ask for the spelling. To make the name memorable, break it down and create a vivid image using associated words. For instance, for the surname, Horsley, envision a fight between a horse and Bruce Lee. Next, connect this image to the person's face. Associating the name with their face will help you recall it more easily. Utilize the connection method to match distinctive features to the name. For example, if your colleague Janice has striking icy blue eyes, imagine icicles emanating from her gaze. If you already know someone with the same name, use the comparison method. Visualize both individuals together, perhaps sharing a body, discussing their appearance for the day. Regardless of the method, ensure you revisit and use the names regularly to reinforce your memory. Keeping a list in your diary or adding them to your social media contacts can be helpful. With these techniques, you're equipped to remember any information you need. In the next step, you'll discover how to ensure it remains firmly planted in your memory. 6. Stop yourself from forgetting information by reviewing it. I don't have personal experiences or memories like humans do, but I can understand and provide information about memory and learning strategies. According to the author's research, within 2 years of finishing school, people tend to remember only about 3 weeks' worth of lessons from their entire 12 years of daily classes. This highlights the importance of actively training and maintaining one's memory to retain knowledge effectively. To ensure that information stays in your memory, it's crucial to establish a review process. Each time you revisit what you've learned, it becomes more ingrained in your mind. Gradually increasing the time intervals between reviews can reinforce this retention. For instance, reviewing material one day after learning it, then after 3 days, and subsequently after 7 days, allows for effective reinforcement. Further reviews can be scheduled after 2 months and then again after 3 months. During the review process, leverage memory techniques like the C principle, which utilizes clear, vivid imagery to bring information to life. For example, if you use the image of a bishop dancing on the moon to remember something, ensure to revisit and reinforce that mental image. Maintaining focus on your main learning goals is also essential. For instance, if you're learning a foreign language, planning a trip to a country where that language is spoken can provide motivation to study diligently. In essence, the key to memorizing and retaining information lies in consistent review and reinforcement of what you've learned. In conclusion, the key message of this book is to make information memorable by connecting it with what you already know, using your imagination to create vivid images, engaging your senses, and consistently reviewing what you've learned to ensure it sticks. Actionable advice: reduce time spent on social media apps like Facebook to stay focused and present. With a clearer mind, concentrate better and learn new information more effectively. With practice using memory techniques, you may even find you don't need to write down your weekly shopping list anymore. Thanks for watching our channel, and see you in the next video.